You are watching the Halos in the Infield Podcast. From everything Halos to full series recaps to upcoming series projections for the fans, by the fans. Enjoy the show.
Hey, welcome in, everybody. It feels like drive time with the Angels here on Halos in the Infield. It's Todd Fox here with Lone Star Halo. How you doing, Fernando?
Doing well. The day's finally come. Pitchers and catchers reported. So time to knock off that rust. In this case, a lot of these pitchers need to knock off that rust because yowzas. We'll get into it. We'll get into it.
Yeah, there's a lot to talk about. Like you said, pitchers and catchers are reporting. Football season's finally over. Go Hawks! We won the Super Bowl. But enough about that. Let's talk about how the Angels are going to compete. We're already seeing some freaking projections on where the Angels are supposedly going to finish this season. Whether certain players are going to play for the Angels and make it through spring training. I think on this episode, Fernando, we want to talk about maybe the players that maybe diamonds in the rough, maybe that can pull through spring training, or guys that have been in the, on the cusp, spring training's past and maybe can make it on that major league roster, because God knows there's room for him this year, my friend.
Yeah. I mean, there is some guys here that are high upside guys. You and I have already kind of discussed, and the page in general has discussed that we are okay with the fact that there's some one-year deals that were signed here. Problem is there's too many one-year deals that were signed.
Correct. And I think we were talking the last time about the fact that, of all the years to participate in the one-year deals for some prime players, maybe not A-plus players, but like your second-tier free agents, this was the year to do it, because it seems like the rest of the league is on par with already thinking, hey, man, we're most likely headed into a work stoppage or close to one, the threat of one in 2027. So, hey, 1 year deals for everybody. You get a 1 year deal. You get a 1 year deal. So the one season we're thinking, okay, they could pony up and bolster the roster, bolster the bullpen, and they don't do it. I mean, we've seen a lot of subpar moves, but outside of the major trade, Fernando, I mean, it's been pretty empty.
Yeah, and we'll get to that right now. So today, the biggest thing we're going to do, so we live in an age where AI is obviously dominating, right?
Correct.
We're getting closer and closer to AI controlling all of our minds. So I wanted to actually go on ChatGPT and type in hey, what are the top 5 storylines going into 2026? And I wanted to see what ChatGPT's idea of it was. I asked it to look up the most commonly Googled searches involving the Angels and base 5 of the top storylines on that. So number 1 has directly to do with what we were talking about, contracts. But before we get into that, there are 2 order of businesses that I think we need to get to.
Okay.
Number 1, and even before we do that, I think we're going to say thank you for the super chat.
Oh, yes. Thank you, DJ, for that nice little donation there. And you could always donate. It always goes back to the cause and back to the page and back to you.
Yeah. Well, what does the comment say, Todd?
We're so back.
There you go. Like OG's Pizza. So back.
Exactly.
But yeah, so real quick, before we get into the top 5 storylines, according to AI, I want to bring up the fact that Angels fans are possibly going to be on the hook for $100 to watch the Angels play this year. Real quick, Todd, what's your opinion on that? And you know what? Randy is the producer to the Stars behind the scenes, but if he's willing to come on here and give his opinion, I'm pretty interested in his too, because this is kind of universally getting pooped on.
Well, I'll tell you this, Fernando, and I'm sort of a religious guy. You are as well. We have that in our background, and there's that whole thing about maybe this isn't right, pirating the internet or streaming services. But I think this is going to turn a lot of even the most evangelical people into stealing streaming, because why the hell would you pay $150 to the MLB network, or MLB.com, and then another $100 So you're going to be paying $250 for the year, and they're like, oh, you could pay 5 payments of $20 just to watch your team. This is going to encourage more people to go out there and pirate it either through Fire Stick, through their computer, whatever app they can find. Because, I mean, let's just face it, Fernando, is this team worth your $100 to watch on television?
Now, I mean, obviously, I'm in a completely different ballpark than all of you guys, right? Both literally and figuratively. Here
Yes.
in the Metroplex area, I always have to pay the $30 a month for the MLB app. So for me, I don't think it's going to change much for me. It's the people that live in that, sliver. I'm sure you guys have seen the photo. If you're listening to this podcast, there's no way you don't follow the Angels on Twitter, right? So I'm sure you guys have seen the red area. It's like the southern part of Nevada, and then the IE, the OC, and the LA area. I don't think I'm missing anything, am I?
No, you're not.
Is the Central Valley covered? I don't know. Randy wants to chime in on that. I'm not sure if the Central Valley is covered. I don't think so.
As far as
the Angels coverage, right? Because you're outside of market, correct?
Yeah, depending on what channels they're on, you usually get them down here. The cutoff ones are usually like if they play like San Francisco or Oakland, we usually won't get those. We're like the cutoff. We're like the cutoff here in Fresno for Bay Area games.
Yeah, and that's another stupid thing. I'm sure you'll be preaching the choir talking about how much these local blackout restrictions are stupid. I can't even watch the Angels when they're playing in Houston. It's like 4 hours away. It's really not that close. But anyway, I think the Angels missed a really, really good opportunity here to buy out the ownership that they could have potentially had in what it used to be Fox Sports West, and then it turned into Bally's, and it turned into FanDuel, because the Angels and the Kings are considered the same network, right? So the Kings would have paid you for the right to continue to distribute their games, and you could have been a pioneer, because here's the thing, right? Nowadays, all these regional sports networks are disappearing. Right, we saw it with the Padres. We've seen it with the Texas Rangers. There's a lot of teams now, really, besides the Yankees, the Cubs, the Dodgers, the real heavy hitters out there who, let's face it, people actually want to watch their games. There's not a lot of people in Ohio that want to watch the Angels, right? Let's call it what it is. There just isn't. There's not a lot of people in Orange County right now that want to watch the Angels.
Yeah.
So it's a subpar product. So the Angels could have controlled the narrative. They could have gotten more revenue by buying out their portion of the ownership and truly being able to distribute their own product, kind of like they do with AM 830, right? The Angels directly own AM 830. They had the opportunity to do that and have their own regional sports network. For whatever reason, they decided to go with MLB. Clearly, Arden Moreno wanted to go for the guaranteed payday. I think teams are losing I think at minimum 50% of the profit potential by going to Major League Baseball. Artie, say what you want about Artie as an owner, but he's been a good businessman. This was not a good business decision. Sometimes you got to lose a little bit up front to make more on the back end. And I think Arden Moreno continues to whiff because he really missed an opportunity.
I have to agree with that because, again, if you could have worked out a deal with KCOP, maybe not directly under the Victory Plus thing, because I know he didn't want to go that route, but to get yourself on local television, and I know a lot of people scoff on that, but they really don't know the numbers, because the amount of people that have just basic cable, which does not include nowadays your local or your ESPNs, all the sport channels that don't have MLB Network, don't have Fox Sports West, none of that stuff are Bally's. So my point being is if he would have worked a deal like the Ducks to at least get them on KCOP or something like that, that would bring a lot of attention. And thus, after the work stoppage or 2027, he could renegotiate for a better channel deal, or the MLB could figure something out, because there's that in the works as well. The MLB is trying to get streaming services fair for each team that doesn't have one, if they want to get outside the box like the Yankees and have their own network like the Dodgers and things like that. But the point being is, like, there's a lot more people watching hockey because it's available to them. whether it's free on the app or it's on regular television. Everybody gets Channel 13 locally. So I think they're
the books
missing.
are free, right? With Victory
Yeah.
Plus.
Yeah. So I mean, if he doesn't want to hook up with the app, I'm pretty sure he could work a deal with KCOP. I mean, what is KCOP known for these days? Nothing but reruns, right? So if you're putting sports on it, it's gonna invest more sponsorships to join KCOP, and it's also going to have more people watching, which is what they want, ratings. So you're going to get Angel fans and Duck fans. They have gotten a very good boost. The numbers that the Ducks are pulling when they're local is pretty good. So it would be a win-win, and it wouldn't cost Artie much, and he would actually probably make a little profit out of it.
That's kind of how Fox was, in the early 90s before the NFL came on board. And as soon as the NFL came on board, Fox has been a juggernaut ever since 1993, dude.
Correct.
Yeah, I don't know. If you ask me in August, I might rather want to watch reruns of the Golden Girls than watch.
Ooh, I want the invite, pal.
Other than whoever they just called up from Low A.
Hey, Halo's in the infield slumber party watching Golden Girls.
Yeah, we'll be giggling. We'll be giggling like little schoolgirls with cookie dough.
Dude, the only reason why I know B. Arthur's name is because of Randy.
So, one of the another thing that I wanted to talk about before we get into this AI search I did is I want to talk about the City Connect jerseys. Now, the Angels are due to get new City Connect jerseys. I was a big fan of the old ones. I think a lot of our audience was. Unbiasedly, I do think they were some of the better City Connect jerseys. They looked good.
Top three.
I definitely think so. Did they fully reflect Anaheim? No, but I mean, I don't really think the Angels were going to. Now, we have a concept teaser that we're going to share momentarily, but Todd, without the obviously we've already kind of seen the behind the scenes teaser that Randy's been working on. I'm really excited for you guys to see it. It's really clean. What's on your wish list for what you think is realistic? I don't think the organization or Nike's really going to put nearly as much thought into it as Randy has. I think they're just going to, throw something in the wall and hope it sticks.
Well, depending on Nike's brass, I don't know if they've moved up to out of the elementary school kids yet for their designs. But for the most part, from what I knew, they have like 10-year-olds working on it. So it doesn't have the thought process or feeling that we do as fans. So I'm pretty sure it's going to be something generic. It would not shock me whatsoever that they, listen, some of these are good, that they've come up with. But most are just very cut and dry, just very bland. And I think they've missed the buck on a lot of these jerseys. They have a backstory to them, but who cares about the backstory? It's what they look like. And I think, these jerseys, like you said, I wasn't a big fan of them because it's not like Anaheim has a beach in it. Huntington Beach is probably the closest to, I guess, towards Anaheim. But if they can nail the overall feel, because Orange County is known for orange groves. Orange County is known for hardworking people. They're Disneyland, stuff like that. Maybe the rights they can't get to Disneyland, but you could do something Orange Grove-y. You could, do something. And the way Randy came up with his idea and the thought process he put into it, to answer your question in a long-winded answer, Randy kicked ass. Nike could not touch what he could do, and I think that's the problem because what we got and what we're going to debut when the time is right is going to probably 100% blow away whatever they come up with.
Yeah, I think the issue is that, so during the first wave of these City Connects, when they started to debut them, I feel like they were a little more fearless. And nowadays, I feel like they're playing it safe. I mean, there's some teams that have completely whiffed both times, like the Dodgers. Both those jerseys sucked. The all-blue ones that said, Los Doyers or whatever they were, lame. And then they had the little confetti ones now, lame. But, some of those were really creative, like San Diego. Very creative. My dad always hated those. But they weren't afraid to try something different, right? And I think they were iconic even for that. some teams like the Rangers
it fit the vibe of San Diego being, deep Southern California, that 80s kind of, Southern California vibe. I didn't like the overall look, but I like the direction they tried to go.
Yeah. And I mean, the city of San Diego is obviously so, tied to the Latino culture. And that's obviously what they did there. Like, it made sense. And then there are some teams, it was just the Giants. There's really lame from the beginning. You know what I mean? So,
I think there's 3 others that I was disappointed big time with. I didn't like Kansas City's. I didn't like Pittsburgh's. I didn't like.
Pittsburgh's is lazy.
I think Philly.
Also lazy.
I kind of
hated the White Sox. I like the Cubs. I did like the Cubs, but I hated the White Sox.
Which ones? The black pinstripe ones?
Yeah, with the old school, like
the South Side,
like old English lettering and stuff. I hate old English to begin with. So when I saw that on a uniform, I was like, oh, that's garbage. But for some reason, I did like the Cubbies with the Wrigleyville and the all blue. For some reason, I dug it.
I think they made a mistake, though, by making the Wrigleyville blue. They should have made it green because Wrigley Field is known for green with the ivy and the red marquee. I think they just missed an opportunity there because the font's awesome. I think their font should stick around.
Well, it's funny. I didn't like it at first, but when Randy started to break it down and then I watched him in a couple of games, I'm like, those are kind of fresh. The pinstripe one, or not the pinstripe, what is it? I just had it. The Washington ones, the tree,
Nationals?
The Nationals, cherry blossom.
Oh yeah, those were my favorites of all the teams. The Washington Nationals were my favorites. They're the reason. They're the ones that gave me the inspiration behind the City Connected I created.
Yeah, I just actually got one for my birthday.
Oh yeah, see, that was nice.
Oh, that is
really
beautiful. I love it. See, it's got that the blossoms and stuff in the texture. Oh.
Yeah, the texture is really nice.
People make fun of me all they want. I mean, hey, I find myself actually wearing a little bit more pink lately than I used to. But hey, they looks good with the cherry blossoms, and because of the detail in it. If anyone's watching on the video side, you could see those, the actual cherry blossoms in the jersey.
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
Yeah, it's a good one. Their new ones suck though, the blue ones. But Randy, you have a teaser to share for anyone on the video side, correct?
I do. Now I will say this video will not show anything about as far as the uniforms go. There is a little something from the uniforms at the end, but it's just an overall teaser to kind of give everybody the vibe of what I'm about to release. Probably, I want to say either this weekend or probably next week, we'll start releasing these day by day. Each day we'll have a different release of the uniform, but let's check out this trailer, shall we?
Long before there were stadium lights, scoreboards, or packed grandstands, this land was already working. Citrus trees stretched across the valley under the California sun. Back then, people here didn't measure time by innings or final scores. They measured it by harvest seasons. Every ladder that was climbed, every crate that was filled, and every long season of heat, drought, and dust helped shape this city. Anaheim wasn't built through headlines or overnight success. It was built through patience, repetition, and roots that run deeper than most people will ever know. And that same spirit is still here today. From orchard rows to diamond lines, Anaheim's story continues. Introducing the City Connect uniform, rooted in Anaheim, built to represent it.
Dude, that's sick. That is so good.
Appreciate it. I got a little emotional making that one. I ain't gonna lie. That was fun to make.
I'll tell you this. Wouldn't that be awesome, Fernando and Randy, if that was playing maybe at Angel Stadium before they, actually played with those on the field, and it was like a press conference, and you saw that on the Jumbotron, and here come the players out of the dugout in those unis. Oh, I'd be sick.
Oh man, I can't wait to drop these things on Instagram, man. It's gonna be so cool.
Yeah, they are very, very cool. I mean, kind of like how I was showing the jersey here, where there's like little details that you can see if you look closely. I mean, your concept is the exact same thing. There's a lot of people. I mean, I'm sure we've seen hundreds and hundreds of Angels jersey concepts.
Mhm.
But this one's definitely probably I can't think of anyone who's probably put more time into it than you. So
Yeah, and I don't want to spoil any of it, because that is a sick concept. I don't want to give away any details, but I'll just say this. I talked with Randy off air and I was like, dude, if we were to make these or have these orders, they possibly could be made, but they would be made at like about $100 to us cost at least. And so we'd have to like resell those at least for a little bit of profit, like at 125. It wouldn't be one of those where it's like, hey, let's get a $40 jersey. That's no, this one's gonna be excellent. When you see the design, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, that's why.
I mean, not everything could be, a $20 shirt, right?
Yeah, this
We've
isn't
had
Temu
those.
stuff.
We've had those before, so they can't all be that.
Look at that. He hasn't even seen it. And W. Baldwin's already, I'd buy.
There you go.
That patch gave it away, didn't it, baby? That patch is beautiful.
That's a devoted fan. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and talk about the AI search I did. And before we do that, give us a follow on all of our social medias. Follow us. Follow all of the pages under the Halos in the Infield umbrella. We'd also appreciate a 5-star review. Let us know what we're doing right. And subscribe, like, comment, share, all that fun stuff. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys. You're the reason why we're here. All right. So I went on ChatGPT, as I said earlier, and I asked ChatGPT, hey, according to popular Google searches, what are the top 5 storylines going into the 2026 season? So number 1 is, where are the Angels in their competitive timeline? Biggest key points it wanted me to bring up. Angels only spent $20 million in free agency, which is on the lower tier of Major League Baseball. Not the lowest, but one of the lower teams. And they went on very low impact players. As anybody who's watching this knows, it's primarily bullpen arms they went for. Fans are debating that 2026 is a throwaway year. That's pretty harsh for AI to say. And the biggest point is Perry Manassian's job is in jeopardy this year, right? He is on the hot seat no matter which way you slice it or dice it. This is the last year currently on his contract. As far as we know now, Billy Epler was secretly signed to a 1-year extension, so we have no idea if Perry has been. But as of right now, we do think that this is Perry Manassian's last year. Todd, in your opinion, number 1 point, is that valid?
I think so. I think it is. Because I mean, there's no one else to point fingers at. I'll give you a little insight here real quick, which kind of made me upset. So, and I'm very disappointed. I almost got a interview with Chili Davis, and his agent asked a poignant question. He said flat out, I'll get you the interview, but I need to know where you stand between Artie and Perry. And I said, okay, well, what's the problem? He said literally, Chili Davis is very, very strong on the fact that he believes that it's Perry's fault where the Angels are, where they're at for this amount of time. And so I told him, well, I did disagree wholeheartedly. I mean, the problem's Artie. Artie's been here before Perry. So the Angels were bad before Perry. And he's like, okay, well, I'll get back to you. And then when I checked in with him, he's like, yeah, he's not going to do it. So Chili's good friends with Artie. So, and I even told the agent, I'm not going to bash Artie. I just wanted to know certain questions, but he wanted to fill me out because apparently he heard about how we do things over here. So it is what it is.
That's
all I got news for. Most of this fan base and podcasters hate that motherfucker. So he probably won't be making too many shows if that's the case.
Yeah, it's sad because I mean, like, there's a lot of uninformed. Even that guy's supposed to be in the know, and he's uninformed, and that's what sucks, man. But it is what it. But that's what it is. I think Perry, you needed a scapegoat, Fernando, and I think he would pay the price if this team suffered another 90-loss season.
I know we haven't gotten our predictions yet. I know we're probably going to do that before the season starts, where
Yeah.
we all predict the record. But I don't know, guys. This could be the year where we lose 100 games. I don't think they will, but I mean, if there's ever a year where I would be willing to put money on it, I'd say probably this year. Yeah, there has been a lack of moves made this offseason. I think this first AI point is extremely valid. It was a very light offseason in terms of spending, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, right? You're able to make low impact, high reward moves. Is there a chance that all these guys in the bullpen are going to pan out? Sure. Will they? Well, off of what we've seen the last couple of years, I don't see that happening. Mike Maddox is a very respected pitching coach. I think we're all excited for Mike Maddox, but there's no way that Mike Maddox is going to be able to take all of these guys and run with them, right? That's just not going to happen.
Well, speaking of Mike Maddox, can I run through the pitchers that we got currently on the active roster?
Sure.
Real quick? Okay. So real quick, we got Sam Aldeguerri, Sam Bachman, Kane Dana, Reed Detmers, Mitch Ferris, Jose Fermin, Ryan Johnson, Ben Joyce, Kikuchi, Kowanowitz, Manoa, Victor Medeiros, Drew Pomeranz, Grayson Rodriguez, Jordan Romano, Javier Sandrich, whoever the hell that is, Chase Silseth, Jose Soriano, Robert Stevenson, Brent Sutter, Walbert Urena, Kirby Yates, and Ryan Zefferjohn. That's currently the guys on the active roster.
There's a couple of guys in the bullpen that I do think could be solid. Brett Sutter, that is a solid bullpen arm. I don't want to be one of those guys, but that's a guy who I normally get on MLB The Show. He's a very low cost guy, decent bullpen arm. Proven major league reliever. But once again, so was Aaron Loop when we got him, right? Aaron Loop had an amazing year with the Mets when we got him.
True.
So, like I said last episode, I'll give the Locked On Angels guys credit for one thing. They always say that bullpen arms are volatile, and I agree. These guys are super hit or miss. You have one great year in the bullpen, and then you have a terrible year. Kirby Yates was pretty darn good with the Rangers. Went over to the Dodgers, pooped the bed. What's he going to do here? He's reunited with Mike Maddox. They had seemingly a good marriage, if you will, over in Texas. So hopefully he can get back to being, I don't even want to say an all-star caliber guy. I mean, this guy's what, 37, 38?
Yeah.
This guy's getting long in the tooth. But can he have an average enough year? I sure hope so. And I at least would like him to be good enough that the trade deadline, maybe we can dump him to a contender. And then maybe at that point, Ben Joyce is healthy and maybe he slots right into the closing role. That's this working well. But we all know the Angels have a terrible reputation for trading guys when it's time. They should have traded, Ward years ago. They could have traded number 17 when he was still here. There's a long example of guys that they should have traded that they just didn't trade.
Yeah, and I think I'm on par with you. I think that Mike Maddox is not going to have this pitching staff pitch worse than it did last year. Say what you will about the previous staff, but I think Maddox will at least have these guys on par, which means the biggest question once again will be the hitting. Can they like that's my biggest thing. I don't worry too much about the bullpen, like you said. Those are a dime a dozen. Starting rotation, yes, of course, like always. I want it to be good, but who knows? There's a couple guys who could light a fire in that rotation and actually be competitive, like your Ryan, your Johnson and your Grayson Rodriguez. If those guys come through, you don't need a Manoa, and if Detmer slides back in there, you got Soriano, Kikuchi. I mean, it may be pretty formidable. So I'm not worried too much about the pitching, because the pitching, in my opinion, last 2 years has just not been the problem. It's been the goddamn hitting. And that's where Brady Anderson, that's where Suzuki come in, that's where Mayberry come in. That's where I want to see if there's a change in this team.
So you brought up the pitching rotation. That leads us perfectly into number 2. According to ChatGPT, the second biggest storyline for the Angels is the pitching and rotation options going into 2026. So can the rotation stay healthy? Last year, we had to give them credit. They did a pretty good job staying healthy. The top 5 guys in the rotation stayed the top 5 guys in the rotation until what? About August?
Yeah, and they started to have some fill-ins by August. Late August.
Yeah, because, Kohanowitz was the guy that they took out first.
Yeah, he lasted way too long.
No, yeah, 100% agree with that. They ended up taking him out around what? The All-Star break?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what will the 2026 rotation look like? Now, Grayson Rodriguez, we know, has the potential to have some number one, number two in the rotation stuff. Was pretty good when he was on with the Baltimore Orioles. Now, there's a lot of sources saying that if Grayson Rodriguez can give the Angels 120 innings this year, coming off of injury, and he can have an ERA of like 3.5 to 3.8, this trade's already an A, which I could definitely agree with. I mean, this guy is controllable for 4 more years. So, and we should be able to find out this year if he can lead this rotation going forward, still being young and controllable. Are you excited to see what we can get out of Grayson Rodriguez this year?
Yeah, I am. I'm more excited to see if we can get a 3-headed monster. I know it doesn't sound like it, but if Rodriguez can get you an ERA, like you said, 3.5 or under 4, I'm happy with that. Kikuchi gave you pretty good numbers with that, and you couple that with hopefully Soriano taking the next step. I'm pretty excited of what could happen and what could be for this rotation.
Yeah, and the other big question mark is Reed Detmers, right? So he's apparently a lock going into next season, according to Kurt Suzuki. He said the only guaranteed locks right now are Kikuchi, Soriano, and Detmers. I'm surprised Detmers is automatically getting the nod. He had a really good year coming out of the bullpen. I understand they wanted to make him a starting rotation guy. Do I think Detmers can be a rotation piece? I mean, maybe, but he's been on when he's on, and when he's not on, he's one of the worst pitchers.
Well, if Maddox can just get him to get away, yeah, go for it.
Sorry, it's nothing long. To me, I think that's why Kurt Suzuki won't be long for this job, because he already appointed a guy to a starting rotation who was coming out of the bullpen last year before even spring training's even started. That's the dumbest freaking thing I've ever heard. Congratulations, Kurt. You'll probably be here a year or two.
Yeah, that's valid. That's valid.
Yeah, because I think, look, say what you want to say about, and it's a different sport, but the thing I liked about Pete Carroll when he first came in is like, it's compete. You got to compete to keep your job. And me and Fernando and everybody on this network say, hey, when Detmers is on, he has that dog look. Like, he has that look. He's stone-faced. He's staring down the hitter after he strikes him out, and he just does his thing and comes back out. There's no fist pump or nothing like that. But when he's bad, dude, he looks deer in the headlights. If Maddox can fix that and just get Detmers the dog, then yeah, he belongs in the rotation. But if we get deer in the headlights, I don't know what to say anymore, man.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense for him to be a guaranteed lock, in my opinion. Kikuchi, yeah, I get it. Yeah, by default, of course, he's a lock. We know that. Yeah. Jose Soriano, same thing. You know what I mean? Everyone else should be competing for a spot. I don't know why you're guaranteeing Detmers a spot. Now, if you're guaranteeing him a spot on the staff in some capacity, whether the bullpen or a starting role, okay, maybe. Detmers was great out of the bullpen last year, but what are you going to get out of him? He hasn't proven that he's a consistent major league pitcher. Just because you have a no-hitter, great. You had a game where you were on. Once again, we know that Detmers can be dominant. He just hasn't proven it yet at the major league level consistently. And that's what makes you a major leaguer, being consistent. So, and everyone else, it is a complete question mark. Alek Manoah.
Speaking facts right there, brother.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Alek Manoah, who the hell knows? Grayson Rodriguez, he's kind of, in my opinion, if he is healthy, which as of right now we still don't know, that'd be kind of a Sharpie guy, right? Because if he was healthy going into this year, I mean, you're traded for him. Why wouldn't you give him a shot? But I think that one's a little bit more of a question mark only because of the health. That's really it for the rotation. Now, the bullpen, I would imagine that Kirby Yates is probably going to get the nod, at least to start the year as a closer. Ben Joyce is throwing off of the half mound right now. So, he's feeling good. He's looking healthy at the moment. So I'm really hoping that he's going to be healthy. What about May is kind of what we're hoping for out of Ben Joyce?
Yeah, May, maybe June, because he's got to do a rehab assignment. So we'll see how long that takes. And you never know, they could shut him back down because it could be another Stevenson. And that's the problem, man. They start feeling the ghost pain. They start feeling the potential of having scar tissue. And when it is just, hey, you're working out the kinks, you're going to feel some everyday pain, or you're going to feel some awkwardness. These guys don't get it, and they just go out there and Stevenson basically took the whole year off last year because he was feeling ghost in his arm. So
one guy that I want to bring up was
thank you, by the way, T. Cole. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for the super chat. Very generous. Sam Alderghetti, he's pitching for Team Italy in the World Baseball Classic, and this guy's only 24 years old, so he's still pretty young. But the biggest thing that I want to see out of him is he going to be a gamer on that stage? Look, Patrick Sandoval, I'm sure you guys remember in 2023 for Team Mexico, was an absolute stud. And going into that World Baseball Classic, nobody was really excited about Patrick Sandoval, but he was on that stage. He was dominant. He competed against the Japan team and shut him out. Did a pretty good job against some of these guys who are, let's face it, the peak of our sport. They are a very respected program in every World Baseball Classic. So I'm excited to see if Sam Alderghetti will take the next step on that stage. Being 24 years old, you are starting to get to that point now. And this is his third year with the organization since he got traded over. His second full year, if memory serves correctly. You got to take the next step, kid, because you're another guy that's going to be competing for a fifth spot in the rotation. While all these other guys are starting to slowly get loosened up in camp, you'll be competing in a global stage. So this is his opportunity to prove that he can actually be a major league pitcher. And I get it. The World Baseball Classic isn't the major leagues, but you're facing major league talent.
Yeah, he's gonna face some pretty good hitters and some peak minor leaguers as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing that as well. What's your third point on that one, Fernando?
Okay, so the third thing that ChatGPT mentioned is Mike Trout's role and his veteran health. How will his role change in 2026, especially given that he will not be on the World Baseball Classic roster? As of now, Corbin Carroll did get hurt. So, who knows? Maybe there's a small little sliver of a chance that he'll be there. But how will his role change in 2026? Will he step up to just be a shadow of what he used to be, or will he take a step back and let this be Zach Neto's team?
I think it's already there. The only thing is that I'll agree is that maybe he can tweak his swing and get his fastball timing better, because we all know he can hit the curve and the changeup and slider, and but man, he just can't hit that fastball, and unless he catches up to that fastball, he's already secondary, possibly third, if another guy pops up in that lineup. Because let's just be honest with you. I think the torch was passed without anyone knowing in the middle of the night. This is Zach Neto's team. Any kind of grit and win that this team gets, it's hard fought by Zach Neto. Any play that he makes. Look at why Boston went so aggressive to try to get Neto. Because Neto is a gamer. He is a game changer. And that guy is easily right now the guy you got to build off of, to be honest with you. That's just my opinion.
I'll say this. I love Mike Trout. Everybody knows I love me some Mike Trout.
Yeah.
But this was never his team. He was just the biggest face on this franchise ever. That's all he's ever been, is just the biggest name and face that's ever been associated with the Angels. It's never been his team because he's not that kind of captain. He's not that kind of leader. Mike just shows up, does his best. Hopefully everybody kind of like, quote unquote, learns from example, but not everybody learns that way. And so I think you finally had a guy come in here who's probably a natural born leader and who's got no problem saying shit when it needs to be said. And I think that's what we got in Zach Neto. He's just a natural born leader.
Yeah, so this point, I don't really think this is a key storyline going into 2026, in my opinion. Let's face it. realistically, how many of our audience is going to turn on whatever they're going to call it this year, Angels Network, to watch? Oh, well, is this still Mike Trout's team? Look, we all know this isn't Mike Trout's team. It hasn't been Mike Trout's team. And like Randy said, I mean, was it ever really Mike Trout's team? Sure, he was the poster boy of it. But, I mean, even when number 17 was here, I mean, it pretty quickly became his team, right? He was the reason why a lot of people were tuning in.
Well, here's the thing. This is why I miss Torrey Hunter, and we got rid of him when we shouldn't have.
Yes.
Because when Torrey was here, no matter what the situation was, if there was a controversy, a losing streak, a winning streak, they went to Torrey Hunter, and Torrey Hunter spoke for the players that couldn't speak or did not want to speak to the media, or he would address things. He was the captain of this team. And for a while there, too, Pujols was as well. But Trout's never been that guy to be like, hey, you know, we're scuffling right now, but we're going to get it going. He never was that assurance.
Jeff Fletcher doesn't run to Mike Trout to get sound bites after the game.
Right.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
No, you're right about Torrey Hunter, dude. Straight up, from the minute we signed him in, 2007, the minute he walked in that clubhouse, man, that was his clubhouse, bro. I mean, from the press conference, from the interviews, you could just tell this guy was coming here to lead, you know, vocally, by example. Like, any way you can lead, Torrey Hunter was that guy. That's why I gravitated. That's why I love, behind Jared Weaver, Torrey Hunter's literally, like, outside of guys that aren't homegrown Angels, he's one of my all-time favorites, man. So when we let him go, I was so pissed. I'm like, that was the stupidest move you could have done.
Oh, yeah.
Especially because you picked Josh Hamilton over him.
God. And I love both of those players that Randy brought up. You know, those guys, Weaver and Hunter, just epitomized, like, you know, you weren't going to goof off.
And the fact that those two were in the same fucking locker room for over 5 years.
Yeah. And
crazy. Oh my God. Talk about leadership. And oh my God, dude.
Yep.
I miss those days so bad.
Yeah, so I don't think that any of us agree that this is a top storyline going.
Not at all.
We this is not Mike Trout's team. No, ChatGPT, you are out of line. You are wrong. Okay, so number 4, according to ChatGPT, the 4th storyline is how will the Angels' free agency strategy and roster construction affect the 2026 team? I think because
I think at the beginning of the show we said Hunter lost season.
yeah, exactly. I think it's going. Now this is a decent storyline going into the season because there really wasn't any free agency signings that were made. How did a team that did so much do so little? Now, somebody, I made that tweet a couple days ago, and somebody responded with saying, "Don't confuse motion with, progress." Just because the Angels made close to 30 signings doesn't mean any of those guys are impactful. The only potential needle-moving move the Angels made this season was trading away Ward and getting Grayson Rodriguez, because that's a move that can make the Angels better in 27, 28, 29. But aside from that, seriously, what other moves were made this year that make the Angels better in an aspect than last year? I think this team's worse than last year's team.
It possibly can, but going back to my point I made earlier about the pitching staff and the rotation, I don't worry about them if they put up similar numbers to last year. If the Angels can bump their hitting up and they're not getting shut out on back-to-back nights, or we're not sitting here with 3 hits and 1 run and 15 strikeouts on a nightly basis. If we're cutting those strikeouts to the major league average, which is about 7 or 8 per game, if we just get to average, I'm not even talking about being phenomenal in less strikeouts. If we just get to average, put more contact on the ball, it leaves a door open for guys like, and listen, with those myriad of moves that you talked about, it leaves the door open, since we didn't go out in free agency and replace Ward, for guys like Kyron Paris to have a redemption year, maybe a Nelson Rada to make the team and do some good things. It leaves the door open for Guzman and other players like that have an opportunity now and to make contact and not have to be the man. And maybe Christian Moore can rise to the occasion, because again, he was just slipped through the cracks.
That would be freaking fantastic. That'd be really great if I finally just showed the hell up. Seriously.
Yeah, I mean that would be the way to go, because with those moves that Fernando talked about, they're not needle moving moves, but it's sort of like, hey, let's catch lightning in a bottle. Or can Kyron Paris, although he was a lightning in the bottle for April, can he sustain that? Can he take the next level? So that's what I would look for, because again, if you're thinking, even with the amount of free agents that are still out there in the market, that Artie or Perry are going to pull a move, nah, dude, it's not. This is the roster we're going to spring training with.
There was a potential for some needle moving moves to be made.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't think the Angels were wrong in not trying to compete in 2026. I mean, let's face it. A lot would have had to have gone, quote unquote, right this offseason for the Angels to try to compete in 26. But the issue is, not only did they not get better for 26, I don't think they even took a lot of strides to get better for 27, 28, and 29, when this competitive window, in theory, is supposed to be open. Because you're going to have maybe 2 to 3 years to actually compete.
Well, I just have a feeling, going to your point, Fernando, that Artie's so thinking that there's going to be a work stoppage, that if some way, somehow a deal is reached before pitchers and catchers report next year, he's going to be like, oh, shoot, we got to go in the free agency. We got to go spend some money. Because there's going to be no one on the roster. Everyone's on 1-year deals.
Hey, who cares about free agency? Go to the stadium and get a Mike Trout Christmas elf bobblehead in June.
Hey, there's a new hot dog at the stadium, I hear. So there you go.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. The Hoffy hot dogs. Everyone's favorite.
Maybe we'll do like the Vince Papali thing, and we'll start having open tryouts at the stadium.
There you go.
It's like, hey, we got
me and Rally Chris going to go try out for catcher.
No, you know.
The Angels can sign that one guy. Who was it? A long time ago, one of the owners brought in the guy who was the short guy who would only get balls because he was 3 feet tall.
I think I remember who that was. Oh, I'm blanking on the name though. But they'll bring that dude in, and they'll bring in the Savannah Bananas to try out as well.
There you go. You're gonna see Jackson Olsen out there dancing, and people will be like, "Bro, this is Major Leagues. What are you doing?" He's
hey, we got
dancing to Britney Spears.
Hey, we got that guy on stilts.
Hey, that'd be dope. I'd be down to see that. I'd rather see that guy play than Squid a couple years ago.
Yeah, much more entertaining.
You guys don't miss Squid?
Not in the slightest.
Not even a little bit. Yeah, I'd rather them hire someone for the McDonald's.
Is he even still playing baseball? I think he's retired.
No, he's still in the league, dude. I heard
he really.
Rally Chris sent me something that he signed with somebody. So
good
in the league.
Yeah, not in the major league.
There's no way that fucker's still on a professional ball club in 26.
He's on a minor league roster from.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Yeah. I'm like, who's giving this guy more chances in 2026, dude? His lone angel year should have been the only thing owners needed to see after that.
The Scranton Wilkes Bear Rail Riders, huh?
There you go.
That last word's doing a lot of heavy lift. The railroad.
That's a perfect team for good old Squid.
Yeah.
By the way, Dimitri ain't
sorry,
lying.
my bad.
No, Dimitri ain't lying right there from Seahawks to Angels.
They talk about whiplash, huh?
Talk about going from the highs of the highs to the lows of the lows.
Yeah.
Hey, Fernando, say that name one more time again. The one that Squid is on.
Where to go? The Scranton Wilkes Bear Rail Riders.
God, why do I feel like that team's owned by multiple people and they all came up with their own freaking name? It's like, oh my God, Artie owns this team.
The Yates Metschke Mendez Rail Riders.
Only Artie puts 3 or 4 different names in one damn team name.
Dude, Randy,
so he's back with the Yankees.
I challenge you, Randy, to make a jersey for that team. Holy shit.
How do you fit the logo on the freaking front of the jersey? It's like acronyms or some bullshit.
God, yeah, it's going to look like, remember Jared Saltalamacchia? He used to have his whole name looking like
the rainbow last name,
yeah, because it was from one side to the other. It's going to be the same thing.
They should have just legally, let him bend the rules and just put Salty on the back. Come on, that looks so ridiculous.
Yeah, that's fair.
It wrapped around the numbers.
Yeah.
Literally, seriously, man, it was hanging off the jersey.
And the fifth one here is definitely a cop-out. The prospects youth movement and the farm system upgrade and how that will impact the 2026 team.
Farm system upgrade.
Yeah.
I mean, with Fernando's story about him talking to some minor leaguers in the past that used to make a cup of noodles in the sink, was it? Or was it the bathtub?
In the bathtub, yeah.
In the bathtub at hotels when they shared about 4 or 5 per room. It could, they've upgraded. I mean, some of these guys have their own rooms. They have a little bit better budget, but they ain't gonna do shit for this team. You gotta freaking recruit. You gotta draft. You gotta scout. The furnishings
We don't put a lot of money into those areas.
Yeah, not the housing developments anyway.
Man, when Todd and I went to the Inland Empire 66ers with Courtney years ago when we did the sushi burrito thing, I remember going.
Another great idea by me.
I remember going into the 66ers facility. Bro, there was 30 men in a room that couldn't have been much bigger than a master bedroom.
Yeah,
in like a typical house. Dude, these guys were like sitting on top of each other. I wish I was joking.
They were sharing a locker.
Dude, it was pretty bad. That facility's rough.
There's like baseball bags on the ground.
Yeah, look, the Lake Elsinore Storm facilities, I'm not going to pretend that they're incredible, but they are drastically better than what the 66ers had. Now, unfairly enough, the Dodgers are getting a new low-A team. The Ontario Buzzards, maybe? I don't know. Somebody could probably let me know in the comments. I think it's like the Tower Buzzards. Anyway, so they're getting a new facility. Say what you want. I'm sure it's going to be cream of the crop.
Yeah, it's going to be replica of Dodger Stadium from what I've seen.
The Dodgers, that's one thing, man. The Dodgers, the Astros, these are all organizations that we hate, but they do take care of their minor leaguers, and there's a reason why they're always so good, right? You take care of your minor leaguers, you provide good facilities, good development, good scouting. You tend to win, and you tend to win a lot.
I'm surprised the Angels aren't in a Little Big Dreams, Little Field of Dreams over there.
Right next to Chino Hills.
Yeah. Hey, we got a new stadium. It looks like Yankee Stadium.
We're on Little Wrigley Field this year, guys. The Little Wrigley.
Hey, have they finally put the Native Americans, my people, back in their own graves, or are they still buried beneath
Angel Stadium?
Angel Stadium.
Yeah, dude, I really want to know, is that a real room? Like, I know it's a room.
Wait, they're saying we're built on an Indian burial ground?
Oh yeah, my dad's been saying that for years.
Yeah, that's a thing. Wasn't there a couple years ago?
That makes sense.
Oh yeah, 100%. Well, wasn't there a couple years ago they were digging up? Was it the 401, like in Huntington Beach? And it was Indian burial ground under there. That was like
they didn't care.
Shit.
They didn't care about that either. They're all progress freeway.
Yeah, what's the worst thing? I mean, what's the worst thing that's going to happen? People are going to be in the 401 in traffic. Great, just another day.
Man.
Yeah, so there you go. ChatGPT really pooped the bed on these 5. I was hoping there'd be some good, insightful stuff in here. There'd be some hard hitting stuff, and I mean, it was pretty wrong on almost all of these.
Well, I bet you if you did top 5 stories for a lot of other teams, you probably get some juicy stuff. The Angels just suck, man.
They didn't do much this offseason. So, I mean, what's there really to talk about?
Well,
nothing.
There's 2 things. Shauna will change his batting stance, so we'll see about that.
And really? Weird.
Yeah. And then here's the one that's going to drive you nuts, because it already drove me nuts, and I'm coping with it still. Number 6 is still on the active roster.
Well, it was just a contract renegotiation, right? It wasn't actually he was leaving the team.
Yeah, that was the whole thing. The buyout was supposed to get him out.
They basically lowered his ass to ride the fucking bench.
Pretty much like even Perry said there's a chance if healthy and he wanted to play, he would be called upon to play.
So he's not even healthy going into the season.
supposedly he's still injured with something. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So-
And that they'll probably keep him that way for the majority.
Yeah, because otherwise, if he were to just say, "Hey, I've been working out, I want to play," he could request a trade or the complete buyout, so where he could become a free agent and still be paid by the Angels. He could do that dick move. It could happen. So,
No, I did not see Paris taking balls at third base. But hey, I mean, whatever's going to get the guys some playing time. I mean, that's the thing, right? The Angels don't have a long-term solution at third base. Did they think that Tony Two-Bags was going to be that solution? Yeah, I mean, I think we all did, and at that time, it seemed like a safe bet. He was relatively healthy with Washington. He was relatively productive. And a lot of people were saying, like, oh, well, this kind of swing that Anthony Rendon has is going to translate well into the back half of his career. Unfortunately, we don't really know if that's the case because we never actually saw him swing. You know what I mean? Because he was never actually playing. You need to be playing to swing.
I do like the fact, though, if he could get some reps in at third, because have you seen Kyron Paris's arm? That dude has probably one of the best arms in the organization. And he did all right when he played sparingly at second base and at short. So
he's naturally an infielder.
Yeah, but he plays outfield. He was playing center field a little bit too last year.
He's got with that arm, man. He could play some right field, man.
Yeah, he's got a rocket arm, dude. So if a guy like him, going back to my point, can make contact, and with his speed, he was leading the team in stolen bases. So you get him getting at least 250 or above. He's got to be in the lineup. And then you've got options. Suzuki could be like, yeah, like Randy said, play right, play
He's
second.
He's a guy you want to see make it out of spring training on the roster in some way, shape, or form. It doesn't have to be a starter, but if he makes the roster, that's when you could start hitting that fucking clock. Like, all right, it's clicking. Paris is on the fucking route to fucking becoming good, man. He's going to be a fucking player, man, but he's got to make the damn team.
Yeah, and Paris shows flashes, right? And here's the thing: I can work with guys like Paris because at least he has depth to his game, right? He's not a defensive liability. The bat kind of comes and goes, but he's also a speedster. The Angels don't have a lot of speedsters.
Yeah,
that's an element I really want the Angels to take advantage of a little bit more. I understand in the Moneyball era that we live in nowadays, a lot of teams don't like stealing because, that's an out and that ruins your opportunity to score. But scared money don't make money. You know what I mean?
And what do you got to lose in the Angels' position? I would
projected to be in last place.
Yeah, so like I would be on the lines of like last year. They're like, let's be aggressive. Let's swing at everything. No, timber that, calm that down, make contact, get on base or work walks, and then get aggressive on the bases. I mean, look, make them throw a couple times over, and then you got the green light. Take second base, stuff like that. Go first to third, and that's why Rada's kind of exciting me too. If Rada can make the team, then you got speed from the right side, you got Paris from the left side. You can interchange those guys if they make the roster. So, yeah.
Yeah, Adrian
Who's
Guerrero
our hitting
is
coach
the
this
team
year?
making the playoffs? Playoffs? Talking to me about playoffs? Gotta win a game first.
Who's the hitting coach for us this year?
There's two. Oh, we got John Mayberry and Brady Anderson.
Well, if you got two, you don't have any. You only
the
need
one
one
thing
freaking hitting coach.
But the one thing I'll say with these two is I like Brady Anderson from what he said. Now, we know some Angels guys in the brass that have lied and say one thing, do the other. I'm giving these guys the benefit of the doubt because Brady Anderson, as much as he was a power guy, is focusing in on contact. And John Mayberry was very much a contact guy when he was a hitter and played the majors. So I'm hoping that that's the new focus. And Suzuki said it is about making contact this year. So we'll have to see. That's a big what if. But
those are words that we're not used to hearing. So that's a good start.
That's what I'm saying. I'm willing to. We'll see is the key word right there.
Don't ever rule it out. Brady Anderson could very well be bringing back the words. At this point, anything to help.
But no, I
Royce
agree.
can help you stay healthy. I mean,
if these guys can get Paris on our bench somehow, if they can get Rada on our bench somehow, dude, they're already worth their weight in gold.
I like
I like that. Make sure to swing. If you don't
Make sure to
move your
swing.
arms, you can't swing.
Let me draw a picture of Sean and Will getting a hit.
ChatGPT, please create an image of a batter making contact with the ball.
Before I generate this, please tell me, do you
Yeah, are you an Angels fan? Oh, sorry, you don't make contact. You missed 3 times. That is what you do.
There you go.
There you go. If you ain't
I'm ready
cheating,
for
you
us to
ain't
start
trying.
cheating, damn it, because damn it, we need to start trying.
Yep.
I will say this though: anything that we can do positive is a positive because looking at the division, the offseason, Fernando's brought it up. I mean, I don't know how many times we could say this as a podcast. When we go into the season, I think we're excited for baseball to return. But then it takes us a little while through April to realize, damn, we're not that good. And I think you just got to go into it, not even glass half full. Glass is about a
Do what
quarter
I've been doing the
full.
last few years. It works, trust me.
Have
You
no
got to be like a
expectation.
Buena Park gigolo with an STD and be more positive, Todd.
Just know that going into the season, this team will not be good. They might not even be 500. They might fuck around and get lucky and make 500, but I don't know. You got to understand. It's like I said, man, this team they're not going to be good for a couple of years because Artie's not going to be making any crazy moves the next couple of years. I just know it. And that's why every year I'm just like, all right, and until they're, I say you will know when the Angels are starting to turn that corner, whether it's with Artie or somebody else, you will know. But as far as I know, as far as I can see, for the time being, for the next 2 years at least, same old shit.
I think the next episode we need to talk about is if the Angels 2026 season is a complete failure. I'm talking like we lose 96 games plus. Is it time to tear it down? I think that needs to be the next topic. At that point, do you start listening to Zach Neto calls, Sean Ewell calls, Ohapi calls? Because at that point, if you're still not getting anywhere near going over that 500 hump, at some point you have to tear it down, right? At some point you need to be realistic.
Oh yeah,
so
definitely.
That might be the next topic to talk about.
Yeah, we'll have to check that out because I think right now with you just in the last...
you don't want to see a Beach Boulevard gigolo. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah,
they eat Farmer Boys too much.
But that's the whole point. I mean, you have all these
facts.
Yeah, facts big time right there. We should have had a rebuild a long time ago, and you're getting all these asks for Neto, dude. I mean, it's only a matter of time. Did you hear he has a new East Coast agent now?
No.
Oh, Neto's a fucking Yankee confirmed.
It's not Boris?
It's not Boris, but it's one of those groups that works with a lot of free agents that usually sign on the East Coast.
Yeah, he'll be a New Yorker real soon.
No, I could see him being a Red Sox.
Or Philly.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. Well, how many years is Trey Turner still there? Because Neto's got what, 4 more years?
I think Trey's got 4 more years. Yeah,
he's got to 30. He's got to 30.
Yep. Wow. How does that fucking timeline match up?
Yeah, right.
Not too good.
Remember this episode, folks.
Yeah.
Yeah, bookmark it.
What? How bad did we lose last year? Was it to Cleveland, right? In 25 at home.
Was it Cleveland?
Yeah.
It was on the April 4th. Yeah, it was against the Guardians. You're right.
Damn, we are 3-10. No, 3-11 in the last 14 home opening games.
Wow.
We haven't won a home opener since 2021.
We lost 8-6. That wasn't terrible.
Yeah.
Hey, they were still in it. There you go. Like a Buena Park gigolo, just kept fighting back.
Nice.
All right, guys.
Dude, wait. Last thing. Total. Guess what our record is all time for home openers?
All time.
Can you guess? I'll give you a number of many.
How many home openers have there been? Like what? 60.
This will be the 66th.
66. Okay, I would say we're like 20-40.
Yeah, I was going to say, I can't imagine they've won. I think being positive, I would say 26 wins.
Dude, that's right there. We have 20. Can you guess the loss?
Oh, right on.
Fernando got it. 26
40.
total.
The 26
40
wins.
losses.
I'm not looking at anything, so you guys don't think I'm cheating.
It's got to be. It's got to be 40 losses, right?
No, it will be if we lose this year. We're at 30. We're at 39 total.
26 and 39.
Oh yeah, because this would be the 66 year. That's right.
Yep.
Okay.
We got a long way to go. We got to go on a winning streak.
Suck.
We're going streaking.
Yes.
Hey, you know what? But I'd trade any one of those years in the past for what we've had the last 10 years. I'll tell you that right now. Give me the 90s back. I'll take the 90s over the last 10 years, dude.
Well,
at least those teams had fucking grit.
Yeah, this might be the least optimistic I've ever been going into a season. I'm very much like, I'm trying to be as positive as I can, but I'm very much doom and gloom on this.
You guys are definitely starting to go down my little hole now. Hey, we'll pause.
Oh, pause. Big time pause.
Yeah, don't like that.
We don't want to go down.
You guys are starting to go down that avenue I'm going down. Hey, I get it, man.
Yeah.
I get it.
Speaking of Bonaparte gigolos,
Let me change the subject real quick. No,
you guys stop.
hey, back in the day, I went to this game and it was Chuck Finley, and I was so excited. It was my first home opener. It was Angels at home against the Milwaukee Brewers when they were in the AL. And I remember that game because Chuck Finley only went 2 innings and he gave up 12 runs, and we were down like 12-1 in the second inning, but they rallied to make it 12-9 before I think it was Greg Vaughn hit a 3-run homer. And it was final 15-9. But I remember going to that game. I was like, dude, and that was exciting. I mean, like, yeah, their pitching sucked, but their hitting was good, like so.
Today's Angels team would never do that. 12. What was it? 12-1? No, it's
12-1 in the second inning.
It'll end 14-2.
Hey, but at least that one was a solo shot, huh?
30 men stranded on base.
He would have been like, hey, but how about that solo shot? Erica would be like, hey, so how about that solo shot?
Oh.
You guys be nice.
Hey, I'm a big fan. I'm still a fan of Erica West. Just saying.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah, I'm positive about that.
Great.
Speaking of positive.
Well, it's been a good show in this format.
Great show, guys. Great show.
Yeah, thank you for the producer of the stars. And again, a reminder quickly to the fans, 714 Tickets, we're going to have a big announcement coming up with them pretty soon. We're going to have a big announcement coming up with Noble L Works as well. And we're going to have a big announcement, possibly talking some spring training. I'm going to talk to the guys off air with that. And the biggest, sexiest announcements will be coming vicariously through Randy, producer to the stars, to the page. He's going to be just give me a little hint of the jersey, man. The new concept of what could be if Artie knew what he was doing.
I'm telling you. Sad when I can get it right, nobody else can.
Yeah.
Because I ain't worth the fucking food stamp. I'll tell you that right now.
Jeez.
Not on this show. You can't get no Stukas.
Yeah, do we?
Show.
Nobody's won.
That's right. It's on the other thing. Yeah, I was looking for it right now too.
Sorry.
This isn't a soundbite show, folks. Well, sometimes.
We should add those on there because I think we need maybe you can come up with some like Disney planes or something flying over Disneyland, some Stukas. I mean, that'd be pretty cool.
There you go.
Yeah, we could play that with some fireworks. But again, thank you for everyone joining us here on a whatever Wednesday for the podcast. Well, that was a quick crowd clap.
Yeah, they weren't that happy. They're
Well, Fernando, any last words on this one?
No, thanks again, guys, for tuning in. As Todd said, check out 714 Tickets. Use your code HITI. Follow us on all the social medias. Follow Unfiltered Sports. Follow, you guys know the drill. We appreciate you guys. Make sure you follow us on all the social medias.
All right, y'all.
Thank you all for watching the Halos in the Infield Podcast. Make sure to like and subscribe on your way out.